What's up, guys and gals? Hope y'all are having a great day or night whenever you open this video up. I've been under the weather and, well, need a little something to test my pipes with. And there's been a hell of a lot to talk about this week, but it's all been kind of sporadic and it's been so little that I don't think it'd be worth enough to dedicate to an entire video, so I decided, you know what, fuck it. We'll talk about everything that happened this week. So, dollar store drama alert, here we go. Starting with...
I can't afford this shit!
A couple people have asked me about this little drama of mine after the last time I posted about it, and well, hate to break it to the people that were really looking forward to it, but it's dead. Been dead for a while. I left it to die, and now gravestone's been hit on it, so time to take a piss on it. So let me explain that much. So after receiving a brutal ratio from me and my other friends and such, good old weeb Cringe decided he wanted to make a video on me, clapping back, and well, it was adorably bad. So bad. I'm only going to respond to the best bits of this video here, but just take a listen. Let's just hear what he has to say about me.
In fact, I was actually needing something to vent out with, so let's go another round. He actually had to go and make 3 videos. The first one he did was when I was actually doing my top 20 waifus list.
You gotta love that little stretch of silence he had there while it was just a loading screen. Almost like he had to carefully pick his words to make me look like Cyber Hitler. Cause you know, I feel like there's a certain thing that I've addressed every time I've ever talked about this drama. But I don't know what it is, but I'd imagine if I addressed it every single time, I'd be a little tired of repeating myself now, so yeah, I guess it's a good thing I can't remember what that thing is. But anyway, let's hear what my first video on him was.
Saying that my video was cringe.
The Warriors
like I could care less.
are gonna brawl with...
That's right, he could care less about being called cringe and his video being cringe. So much so he has to bring it up now. Sure thing, bud.
The Destroyers.
Then he decided to actually take a very professional video of me actually talking about Doug Tenaple when I was just simply giving my response to him on his video, and then he takes it out of context, saying that I'm actually being an idiot and all that kind of stuff.
I love how he's not going to describe how exactly I took him out of context in order to call him an idiot. Just that I did it, you know. Really helps your case there. Also, I don't want to hear shit about taking things out of context when we have this little clip right here from that video.
Well, I'm actually taking your words out of context here, but...
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
I mean, why though? Why would you willingly take this shit out of context? Unless you got something you don't want people to find out. Foreshadowing. Gotta love all the projection.
And then, finally, he decided to go after me one more time, trying to freaking get on my nerves by saying that I am actually just being so freaking cringe.
Ready? 3.
Awesome, so not only is it something I never said in that video, but it's also a nice little contradiction to you caring less about being called cringe. But anyway, after this, the most he does is bring up my Leafy clone, which I take as a compliment, so thanks I guess. And a little bit more rambling while he cheers himself on his fucking game here. And well, I didn't really feel like making a video on this because it's so short, it's such a nothing burger, and I didn't feel like repeating myself again. So I decided I'd let sleeping dogs lie. I just commented on the video saying, hey, thanks for the laughs and such, which, of course, he got all offended over. Afterwards, he pulled his little, let's talk about it man-to-man shit like that. I don't care about your videos, I don't care, blah, 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 blah. And then because I didn't respond within the same breath, he takes it to Twitter to try and beg for people to help, begging a certain someone that's asked repeatedly to not be brought into this. Naturally, he and a few other people told him, fuck off, deal with it yourself, or don't do it at all. And then, and only then, does he decide, you know what, I'll block and unsubscribe from me. Which, fine, if that's what you want to do, go for it. But that just kind of begs the question, if he was so pissed off that he had to vent about me, why was he still subscribed to me? That and so much else will tell you how hollow this fucking drama was. But anyway, he wanted to say he was done with that and block me and all this and that. I was like, okay, I don't need to continue. This has been mighty entertaining, and I thought that'd be the end of it. Except apparently not, because while I was looking up for something else on search, and of course because search is so fucking busted, I got recommended his little video on Xander Hall here. And whoever the other person is, I have no idea. And I decided, you know what, I'll watch it for old time's sake. And of course it's the typical Reddit arguments about Lolicon, all this shit about Cyberpunk Edge Runners, yada fucking yada. And well, apparently, I make a cameo in it, 2 weeks after this drama died. And well, let's just go right into that clip.
In fact, I had to drop Big Country because I was getting sick and tired of him constantly freaking harassing.
Yep, there's the lie still going strong. Should I expect any less?
And, of course, berating me when he should be actually focusing on doing content. That's why I've actually unsubscribed from him. That's why I blocked him.
Bye, Felicia.
I don't want anything else to do with him. He's just nothing more than a lost cause to me. I mean, I really liked his content once upon a time. But when going after me...
I wonder why I ever did that. I feel like there'd be a certain thing that would be the only reason I ever even checked out that video. But I don't know what it is. It just keeps eluding me.
That's when it all went downhill. I'm not gonna freaking bother him. I'm not gonna bother...
Yeah, I kinda had to bleep that out because he of course had to bring up the one person that's asked repeatedly not to be brought into this drama. And he does it again later on, so of course I gotta do it again later, so just keep that in mind.
Out of mutual respect for you, I kinda actually had to drop Big Country out of, not just for me, but also for you, because, no offense, I actually understand that you're on good terms with him, but if he starts keeping harassing me, I'm actually done with him.
And just like that, the drama is done and buried. And that's all there really was about me in that video. I found it pretty fucking hilarious that even after 2 weeks, he's still letting me live rent-free in his head. So that, combined with the people that have asked me about this, made me decide, you know what, fine, I'll address it one last time. Goodbye, good riddance. I'd say my first YouTube drama was a massive success, and well, here's the pin and things. Good old RT and another one of their controversies, where it turns out their employees been abused to shit, and in the case of their most marginalized groups and such, well, they got it the fucking worst. They straight up made this bitch work until their back was broken, and then demanded they come in the next day, basically. And ever since they revealed their horror stories and such, it's been a tidal wave of way more voice actors coming out and saying, yeah, RT's just as bad as they're describing, and it's been entertaining to watch, just like rats fleeing from the Titanic. We've all been saying it's been just this bad for years, and now we're seeing it unfold even more, and it's so fucking fun to watch a company you despise fall. And of course, RT came out with some damage controlling posts here, trying to say, oh, change is coming, we're changing up our leadership, we got a whole new HR team to make sure that harassment like this doesn't happen again, yada yada yada. And it's just more hollow words to try and mitigate the controversy. That, and what's hilarious is all the people, especially former employees, still coming out being like, hey, don't go and harass current RT employees. It's like, no, we don't need to. RT's done a damn good job themselves. And we know how they don't like competition. But anyways, my hat's off to Caden for this. I know I've said some creative ways of saying I don't really like their character and shit, but all the same, nobody deserves to go through corporate slavery to the extent they did, so yeah. And when you combine this with all the other controversies RT's had in the last 7 years, well, their reputation is done. They are nothing but a PR nightmare, and there's just no hope for them surviving another year or so. They're gonna see the end of this year, they're gonna put out whatever projects they have almost done, shit like that. But then I don't see Warner Brothers keeping them much longer. So long. And I guess while we're on the subject of companies that have lost all their reputation and have lost all hope, we might as well talk about the one that finally died.
Are you ready for a miracle? Ready as I can be. Are you ready for a miracle? Set you free. Are you ready? Ready. Are you ready? Ready. Are you ready? Are you ready?
So G4 TV is dead again, and I think the rest of the world is collectively saying,
Okay.
like, this outcome was not hard to see one bit. Even before Frost's rant, I had never heard about G4 TV. Like, let me just go ahead and put this in perspective for you to show you just how fucked they were from the word go. I didn't have home Wi-Fi until about 6 years ago or so. Growing up, there was no home Wi-Fi, and going on the internet was a once in a very long while thing. Going to relatives that had it or going to the public library, shit like that. And in all that time where cable was the number one source of all my information and entertainment, I had never heard of G4. Or I guess they were called Tech TV at that point, or whatever they were called. Never heard of them. That's how much they had been swept under the rug over the years. So them coming back and wanting to do basically exactly what every fucking YouTube channel does at this point, yeah, they were pretty fucked from the word go. And then came that little sexism and gaming rant, full of blatant lies and shit like that. And it was entertaining to see all my friends dunking on that shit, but at the same time, I was like, just more whacked out ramblings from a dumbass who really doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. And they're just angry that they've never had good dick, so sucks to suck, I guess. But then it was a comedic downfall from there, and the main stunt I remember G4 trying that Rich kept bringing up over and over whenever he had to talk about them was, of course, when they tried to bring Amaranth in for some Price is Right parody bullshit. And when you take some plastic boobs and surround them with plastic balls and joke about that shit and you still can't save your dying ass show, then it's just time to call it quits. That's how you know you failed at showbiz. Then came the inevitable layoffs, and then shortly after, Frost herself was fired after bragging about how she survived, which got a chuckle out of me, but nothing major. And then now that the plug has been pulled, so many of the other people are being like, hey, thanks for letting me know that I'm fired right here on Twitter instead of telling me to my face. And it sucks for them, but the more entertaining ones are, of course, Frost and Adam Sessler. My Sexism in Gaming segment was approved by all executive showrunners in X-Play. When I was originally hired and cast, G4 made the internal statement that diversity and inclusion was what it was built on, to fix the past. Gotta love when these companies try and say we're gonna fix the past and end up just pissing off all the people that built them up into what they are. But anyway, I was fully supported initially until doxing and threats, which I don't believe happened one bit. This is just the new hollow thing that companies and people on the internet love to bring up, be like, oh, I've been doxxed, so you gotta sympathize with me. It's the same old red herring they try and pull to try and mitigate all the controversy, to try and avoid taking responsibility. About 5 years ago, when Battlefront 2 had its shit show of a release, and also the Reddit fiasco where they had the most downvoted post in the site's history and shit like that, their immediate response after getting this was, oh, we've had death threats, so you gotta give us a little bit of slack here. We just don't know how to handle this much hate. It's just a red herring to try and make the outrage mob eat itself from inside. And it turned out to be fake there, and I imagine it's fake here too. But on the off chance that it is real, that sucks. Doxing sucks. But anyway, Frost is of course coping, but Adam, he's coping even worse. I mean, I could consider funding a House candidate in your district that cuts off all federal funding so you have to whore your daughters off to make ends meet while I drive by laughing. Or I could make fun of you or Mom. What a fucking nerdy insult. Like, geez, Gara, you can remove your crown now. This is the nerdiest insult I've ever heard. Oh, I'm gonna go support a candidate that's gonna fuck you over. Okay, go for it. I don't give a shit. But yeah, the disaster is finally over. I mean, like I said, I had no idea what this was when it first started making rounds again. And when I had my friend describe it to me, I was like, this just sounds like such a waste of time. And I remember this example I brought up. I was like, this would be like if Blockbuster Video announced they were going to make a nationwide comeback and try and compete with the big boys in the streaming age, but they were still going to keep up with the physical media and make that the primary source of their income. And then just to get people to tune into their ads and shit like that, they had their social media manager go on a little rant about how people are so fat and lazy they can't get up and put a disc in, shit like that. You know, they'd be the laughingstock and that would be a ticking time bomb on their company if they did that. And G4, well, they're proof of it. And it's been mildly entertaining to see it fall so hard and see how pathetic they got. But like I said, the world is pretty much indifferent to this news because who didn't see it coming?
Mission failed. We'll get 'em.
And here we arrive at probably the hottest topic of the entire week. Hashtag Bayonetta, or however you want to describe it. Now, when I first heard about this, there were a few things that made me go, huh.
That was sus.
The main thing being she waits until 2 weeks before the game launches to bring up that she's supposedly been snubbed a paycheck and that she's been treated unfairly. So why are we bringing this up now when you would have been replaced and you would have had every bit of this happen months and months ago, if not years at this point? Because I forget Bayonetta was announced 5 years ago at this point. But then all of a sudden the voice acting controversy comes up now, right before launch. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way. I did not give a shit when this first started coming out. I listened to Rich and I listened to a few of my friends on Twitter and such making their content about it. And when my YouTube friends decided they were going to make their videos on the situation, and they were quick to jump to conclusions, I was cheering them along, being like, yeah, fuck Nintendo, being like, Platinum's kind of been shit for a while now. Even if you set aside the objective failure that is Babylon's Fall. I also just thought the Bayonetta trailer looked average at best, and fucking Astral Chain was mediocre. So all in all, Platinum gets no love from me, so I didn't really do much research into this. Also because I don't really like Bayonetta that much, so yeah, I just went along with it. But then some interesting things have come out. People have done proper digging, and well, it looks like Miss Helena Taylor lied her ass off. How shocking. And what's the deal? Well, how about before we get into that, we just go ahead and listen to what LegacykillahHD had to say on the controversy since, well, I thought it was pretty interesting. Since he normally is able to sniff out some bullshit here and there, or at least pretend to, well, this is one time where he was caught down bad. So let's just hear what he had to say on the whole situation.
And actually, let's dive into that now, because Bayonetta 3 is and has been one of the most highly anticipated games for the last couple of years. Recently, there was some impressions and previews shared, and there really is a lot of excitement behind this game until now. Something that a lot of players picked up on in some of the early trailers was that things sounded a little different with the main character of Bayonetta, and there had been some suspicions based on some previous tweets by Helena Taylor that she might not be returning to the role, and that was confirmed by Platinum Games a couple of weeks ago in a statement, as they said various overlapping circumstances made it difficult for Helena Taylor to reprise her role.
Which is a nice corporate way of people saying, yeah, she didn't want to do it, which is fine. Voice acting is an entirely optional thing, and if people don't want to do it, they can always back out. And well, it's just interesting looking back on this.
And I think the assumption that a lot of people had was that, okay, well, Taylor, she's busy, she has some other projects she's doing, so they had to hire somebody else, and they chose Jennifer Hale, a highly acclaimed actress.
This is nitpicking me, but goddamn, it's highly acclaimed voice actress because holy shit, that face is ugly as hell. I like some of her roles, nothing personal, but goddamn, she is just aging like milk. That's all I'm gonna say.
She's done a lot of stuff. She's known for her role as Commander Shepard in the Mass Effect franchise and a number of other roles over the years, but a great actress and a great replacement if they had to do that. But the problem with Platinum Games' statement is that it appears to not be true to what actually happened behind the scenes.
No, they're actually putting a very nice spin on it. That way they don't have a major fucking controversy and they don't make her look like the bad guy. So yeah, +1 respect to Platinum.
And it appears that the real reason why Taylor is not back is because of issues over pay, and how Platinum Games just totally disrespected her. Taylor, in a series of video tweets the other day, made the following accusations against Platinum Games.
The final offer to do the whole game as a buyout, a flat rate, was $4,000 US.
Now real quick, here's where I gotta take my L on this situation. I didn't do enough research to look into whether this was true or not, and what the actual $4,000 was worth. Well, granted, the Bloomberg article hadn't come out at that point, but still. I looked into the Bayonetta budget, and I can't find the exact number now, but I had read somewhere of allegedly 40 to 60 million was the budget they had for the Bayonetta games. And when you hear 4,000, that sounds like, yeah, that's not a good deal whatsoever. And so again, I was there cheering along with my friends and such like that, and I also made this very, very cringe fucking comment here. Talking about how she's committed career suicide, and that if the game flops, there was no chance it was ever going to flop with this controversy. There was nowhere near enough people saying they were going to boycott. It was mostly the big YouTubers and a bunch of Redditors, shit like that. People looking for their 15 seconds of fame. But anyway, I chimed in with this wall of cringe here, and it did look bad for Platinum, and it did look bad for how they were treating their employees, all this and that. So I'll take my L there. But, with the benefit of hindsight and the fact the article is out now, we now know that the $4,000 she was offered was for a cameo role in the game, not for doing the entire voice. Because after her initial denial, Platinum decided, you know what, let's just do a little something to give her a little bit of something for the fans. You know, let's do something nice for her. We'll give her this, and we'll also give her $4,000 for doing this little bitty cameo. And of course she's gonna leave that little detail out.
This is an insult to me. The amount of time that I took to work on my talent and everything that I have given to this game and to the fans. I am asking the fans to boycott this game and instead spend the money that you would have spent on this game donating it to charity.
I mean, I'll give her some brownie points for being vague and be like, yeah, just donate it to charity instead of donating it to a specific charity. Then that would have made her look even worse. But anyways.
I decided to do it to stand up in solidarity with people all over the world.
People being you and your entitled ass, but anyways.
Who do not get paid properly for their talents. Fat cats cream off the top and leave us the rotten crumbs.
I'm sorry. Oh, that was so fucking cringe. Just reminded me of my own cringe post, but like I said, I'm taking my L there. And trying to make this out to be a Nintendo bad thing. Yeah. It's the fat cats that are trying... I'm sorry, this is just too damn funny and it's making me cough again, so I'm gonna need a minute. While I go on this little intermission, how about we have a little word from our sponsor? That's right, you boy do be working it up in the world. So let's go ahead and hear what they have to say.
La
go out and buy whatever it was I was advertising out and forgot. Now back to our regular scheduled program.
I suffered from depression and anxiety. I worried that I was going to be on the streets.
Blah 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 blah. Let me give a fake story to give you some sympathy points. I'm gonna skip over the rest until she says something more interesting, so that's why there's gonna be considerably less bits of Helena in this, because I've heard enough of her lying mouth over the last few days.
Good luck to them.
Nah, bitch, more like good luck to you, because Nintendo's lawyers are ruthless, and it's gonna be entertaining to see your ass flogged all over the street. Not wishing the worst on her or anything like that, but her career is over. No company is gonna want to put her on because she's gonna throw an unprofessional rant like this, or they're gonna see her as poison to the sales. Like, there is no coming back from this. And all I can say is congratulations, you really fucking played yourself in this.
Taylor's explosive accusations immediately blew up all over social media, many outraged by the way Platinum Games and Nintendo has treated Taylor, and the fact that they basically lied about why she was not returning to reprise her role. We saw many video game actors and also developers speaking out in support of Taylor.
Yeah, except I saw considerably more voice actors saying, hey, you need to wait until you hear the whole story, and that you shouldn't be breaching NDAs like this, because there's typically a lot more going on behind the scenes. And they were right.
And Jennifer Hale, who replaced Taylor on Bayonetta 3, released a statement saying the obvious, that she's under a non-disclosure agreement and really can't say much other than the fact that she had no idea about this whole ordeal, and she does in fact support every actor's right to be paid well. A number of hours later, I just thought this was interesting, but Hale linked to a thread which said that if you only hear one side of a story, you haven't heard the whole story. We've seen a couple of other actors say that there may be more to this than what Taylor has put out thus far. But this situation did get a lot more ugly after some of the remarks Taylor made about the executive director on Bayonetta, Hideki Kamiya, and the interaction that she supposedly had with him.
So I thought, you know what? I'm going to write to Hideki Kamiya. I'm going to write to him and ask him for what I'm worth.
Or if you really think they're paying too low and shit like that, you can always just move on, play Bayonetta in something else, or take all your talents in making her what she is and apply it to a different character. The fans will follow. That much is fucking guaranteed.
I never read it because I got a reply. I got a reply saying that he values greatly my contribution to the game, and the fans really want to voice it over, and the memory first meeting me as Bayonetta in memory I wanted. So I thought, great, thank God. That was when they offered me $4,000 US.
What a load of bullshit!
Maybe he said that before offering her the cameo and shit like that, but doesn't really sound like it.
Do you know, Platinum had the cheek to say that I was busy, that they couldn't make it work with Miss Taylor's schedule.
Yeah, they were trying to put a nice spin on the fact that way you can save your image and go work somewhere else and keep your golden reputation from ages ago, since you haven't done any voice work in fucking ever, and at this rate you never will again. So you can call it cheek all you want, they were doing you a fucking favor and you're spitting in their face like this. What a bitch.
Well, I had nothing but time.
Kamiya did respond on Twitter saying, sad and deplorable about the attitude of untruth. That's what all I can tell now. By the way, beware of my rules. And Kamiya is a very interesting figure on Twitter. If you criticize the man at all, he very much loves to use that block button.
I'm just gonna say this much, when you're using the block button like that, you're a little bitch. But the way this Kamiya guy is acting, and his attitude of treating everyone like shit unless they speak Japanese, I gotta tip my hat a little bit. It's unprofessional as fuck, yes, but it's entertaining. And knowing what we know now about how dishonest she was, yeah, he's got even more respect points from me.
And he has this little rule that he has on his Twitter account. I'm fed up with insects which never read my post/header pic and just keep posting. That's why I'm telling you not to post in languages other than Japanese. He seems to be very xenophobic. If you break the rules, that means you are a brainless insect and will be blocked immediately. Be careful. And Kamiya has been going on a blocking spree, not even responding to any of the criticism that he's receiving, and thus far he has decided not to explain what Taylor is lying about.
He most likely kept his lips shut on that much because he's under an NDA just as much as everyone else in the project is. And, in retrospect, he didn't have to explain shit. The truth would have came out sooner or later, and Helena would have shut her trap up and tried to disappear from it all, which just makes this entire thing so much more entertaining.
This is an absolute nightmare for Platinum Games and Nintendo. This release is just a couple of weeks away, and now many on Twitter are saying that they're going to do exactly what Bayonetta is telling them to do. They will boycott Bayonetta 3.
Very few people would have actually boycotted. The people saying they were just going to do it for the attention, try and get their 15 seconds in the spotlight, and everyone else, they would have not given a shit. Like, as much as it sucks to say, yeah, nobody cares about the strife of the workers making the product you're wanting to buy. That has no effect on your purchasing decision. If it came out that conditions were horrible on Call of Duty and shit like that, nobody would care. It would still sell 1 million copies within the second that it drops. But in the case of Bayonetta, the sales have doubled, predictably so. Drama sells. This is a well-known thing, and there was no chance in this game ever flopping.
And this is nothing new for Platinum Games, this controversy. This year has been a very rough one for them. They openly said that they wanted to be acquired, they begged Microsoft to work with them again or bring back Scalebound.
Them and Scalebound? I'd be down for them reviving that in some way. But what would be even more entertaining is if you combine Platinum Games and Ninja Theory, since Microsoft owns them too, and you get them to work on a fucking Devil May Cry spin-off. Hot take here, the Devil May Cry reboot, it's entertaining in the same way Tommy Wiseau films are, but if they were to do a sequel and they get Casey Edwards to do the music, I'd pre-order that motherfucker. I'd get the deluxe edition, I'd love the shit out of it. Just as long as Casey Edwards does the music, I will get it. No questions asked. I know that's out of Microsoft control and shit like that, but if you combine Platinum's experience in making really good action games and shit like that, well, their old experience at least, with Ninja Theory and their eccentricness, like, I think that would be something that rivals Metal Gear Rising. Just a high idea of mine. And also, I don't get how them wanting to be acquired is a bad thing. New management like that would typically mean a good thing, and it would mean way more exposure for them, so...
They put out one of the worst games of the year with Babylon's Fall, which I believe is going to be shutting down early next year. Just a travesty of a release.
Another tiny L I'll hold, because I thought Babylon's Fall had already shut down. Either way, it's wild that they had an entire year in which the game launched, failed, flopped, and is now being shut down within the same year. Like, that's just entertaining to me.
And then they have this situation to deal with in which they just got exposed for their horrendous treatment of the lead actress of their beloved AAA franchise. As it currently stands, we await the inevitable Platinum Games and Nintendo statement. Based on Hideki Kamiya's immediate Twitter response, I think it's safe to say the companies will be disputing what Taylor has claimed.
Oh yeah, she's fucked. And I don't think they need to say much more other than letting the Bloomberg article spread around. And Helena's silence after saying, oh, I just want to put this entire thing behind me, after getting on stage and be like, please, for the sake of the fans and for the sake of this franchise, do this for me. You know, pretty fucking slimy on her end.
Still though, there remains some confusing aspects to this story, as hiring someone such as Jennifer Hale over Taylor comes with what one would assume is a hefty price tag.
Yeah, hindsight's 20/20 on that one. People really should have thought about that before jumping to believe in her blindly. But that's what she wanted out of this, so oh well, we played right into it.
So this is a developing story, one that has created massive damage to Platinum Games' already shoddy reputation. But as Taylor noted in her videos, this is a franchise that she spent well over 7 years dedicated towards, and her voice helped generate over $450 million in revenue.
To try and say her voice is what helped make this franchise into what it is probably the biggest fucking reach of the year. Is it a part of it? Absolutely. But is it the main thing? Hell fucking no.
Something that sadly it appears was ignored.
No, she just wanted to be a little whiny bitch about it not being enough. And well, sigh a fucking gnar at this point. But anyway, I felt like using that as a springboard to cover this because, like I said, I don't really give much of a shit about the Bayonetta situation, and this entire thing has been pretty entertaining, but there ain't much of nothing else to it. Bitch lied to everyone, people jumped on the bandwagon, and now that bandwagon has crumbled to ashes. So goodbye and good riddance Bayonetta. Or at least Helena doing the voice of it. That'll have a whole zero effect on me.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Alright, you can rest easy. I'm not going to be responding to him or anything like that, because I'm sick and tired of hearing about Quantum. But he's wanting to start up a controversy, and people are already going to be taking the bait, making the responses, trying to correct him on this. It's going to lead to more copyright abuse and more of the usual bullshit. Gara's already working on it, and well, like I said, I'm staying out of it because I've been asked to not go into it anymore. It's the same old broken record at this point, and Quantum's credibility as a reviewer has been fucking shit forever at this point, so there's literally no point in it. Nobody believes him, nobody's gonna actually be misinformed by him, and if they are, then they don't got two brain cells to rub together, so I'm only putting this in here, that way I can say I'm putting a pin in things. I do not give a shit about Quantum anymore, I'm just waiting on Gara and Rambo to give the final word on whether or not he did serve in the military, since that's the one thing that's pissed me off the most with Quantum, and I just want a yes or no answer. That's it. Other than that, he can keep on going, he'll eventually get himself banned, and we'll go through the same process over and over again. I'm just so drained, I do not give a shit about Quantum anymore.
I'm
yeah, there isn't really much to this one. Lolly got hacked by the fucking crypto bros. He had to go through a whole lot of bullshit. He got helped out by some people that I know, mainly Sophia, and now it's all settled, so there ain't much use in harping on this one either. I'm really just putting it here, that way I can say, hey, go sub to him. He makes some damn good content. Don't buy his fucking merch, though. I bought one of the shirts, and it's one of my fucking biggest regrets of the year. Even after dumping some fabric softener into the thing, it's still so goddamn itchy that I'm convinced it's made out of his grandma's eyelashes. But other than that, yeah, he's back, and with more content to come. And in the same vein, well, this has been a nice little vocal warm-up. My voice is still a little shitty, but I'm powering through it. Regular, more organized content should be coming back soon-ish. There was going to be a Halloween special, but when I got sick, I kind of had to scrap it. But oh well, there's always next year. I appreciate everyone who listened to this little ramble of mine. I know it's been hard to listen to because, goddamn, I cannot keep focused for shit. But anyways, thanks for watching, and thanks for all the support the channel's gotten. And until there's something more interesting to talk about, I'll talk to y'all later.
Good question! How about I leave you alone with this guy instead?